So that was just such a normal thing. And it was a shock for me when I came here. I would make eye contact and be like, they'd be like, who said that? 안녕하세요. 저는 미국에서 온 렉시입니다. 만나서 반갑습니다. I've been living in Korea for 3 years. It's crazy because the time goes so fast. But yes, it's been 3 years already, and I've had so much fun living here. There's so many good things, but one of my favorite things is Korean food. I love Korean food. I think my favorite Korean food might be samgyeopsal, sogogi, like Korean barbecue. It's hard to choose. Makgeolli, pajeon, 닭갈비, so good. I think those are like my top 3. And living in Korea, there's so much history and culture. It's so unique and different for me. So there's a lot of stuff to see and explore and learn. And it's really great to try to travel around Korea and just see all these different places. Living here for me at least is very convenient and comfortable. And really nice to like have all these experiences and have it be easily accessible. Yes, I think some cultural differences, there are many. Respecting the elders, like very formally. You know, back at home, I respect my elders, but it wasn't as like serious. You know, like I can still be like very like friendly and like, you know, it's not a different language. You know, you don't have to use like 촌댓말 for your elders, which is great, but that was definitely different. I was always nervous to try to speak Korean to the older people because I didn't want to be rude. Another thing is eating culture here, eating and drinking. When we, usually in the US, when we go out to eat with friends, we usually order our own food and it's not really a sharing culture. But one thing I really like about Korea is like you just buy a bunch of things and then everyone eats it together. I think it's really inclusive and it makes it more united. And because of some other cultural differences, some things have also made me feel a little sad. First of all, bless you culture. In the US, it's actually like expected that if someone sneezes around you, you say, oh, bless you, bless you. Here, I wasn't sure if there was a Korean word for it, but I don't think there's a word. Like I never hear anyone say anything. So I just am like, okay, I guess I'm not gonna say it. Because I feel like it would be really strange if, you know, I'm on the train and someone sneezes, bless you, you know, like they'd be like, who said that? I kind of knew that Koreans didn't say anything, but I would kind of sneeze and kind of be like, hello, I sneezed. You know, after a few times, I just knew I was never gonna hear it. So now I sneeze and just, that's okay, it's okay. So I think when I go back home, I might be like shocked when someone says bless you, be like, I haven't heard that in such a long time. Oh, tears. So I think if you're like in the elevator, you know, close to someone and they sneeze and you don't say anything, they might not like look at you, but they might think in their head, this person's kind of rude. I sneezed, you didn't say bless you. Because I feel like going home, I would expect it. You don't have to do it, but it's nice if you do. Yeah, when you sneeze in class and 3 people say bless you, and you're like, oh, thanks. I'm so popular, so many people said bless you. And next, a different culture shock is most people don't make small talk. You know, in America, it's just a normal thing. I don't think twice about it. If I walk by someone, you make eye contact, it's like, oh, good morning. Oh, how are you? And you don't even need to like respond. You just like say the same thing, like, good morning, how are you, how are you? And then, you know, you never see them again. Or even just acknowledging, where if you make eye contact, you're just like, you smile. I would feel really rude if I never acknowledged someone. So that was just such a normal thing in the US. And it was a shock for me when I came here because I was still doing the same thing. Not even like saying good morning or like, how are you? But like, I would make eye contact and be like, you know, I could just see them like what is this Weigukin doing? But for me, like I know people don't do it here, but I still feel like I'm being rude if I don't do something. I have to do something. Most people understand it as like a brief conversation, like, hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. And you? I'm good, thank you. Okay, bye. Or not even just answering, just good morning, how are you, how are you? No answer to how are you, just like, how are you? Bye, you know? It's not mandatory, but if you don't like acknowledge it or don't respond, it might be seen as kind of rude. I feel bad because if some people are very like shy and introverted, usually it's like, please don't talk to me. You know, even just acknowledging like kind of like, oh, you know, like that, you know, making some kind of like nod or any kind of acknowledgement, people usually understand like, okay, like you don't want to talk, that's fine. But if someone is like, good morning, they'd be like, what's your problem? I said good morning. I feel like usually people talk about, oh, hi, how are you? Oh, nice weather today, you know? Like, where are you from? Like, what kind of work do you do? You know, oh, the rain. It's so nice when it rains. Sometimes you can maintain it for a while, but after a while, you just have to keep like, yeah, oh yeah, the weather today, yeah. What are your family issues? You know, you don't want to go too deep. Basic things like that. Sometimes it turns into like a really nice conversation. You know, even something that starts as small, start talking to new people and you have good conversations. And even if you never see them again, it's like, wow, that was a nice conversation. It's like a life talk. It's almost like therapy. You know, I'm very talkative. So if someone else is talkative and we just like start talking and then it's like 10 minutes later, that was a nice conversation. Bye. It's interesting how that happens sometimes. It really was hard for me not to say something. I knew that it wasn't like normal, but I would still say like, 안녕하세요 to people if made eye contact. And I think they were really kind of like shocked. Like, who is this girl I don't know trying to talk to me? It's not so much that I'm doing it for other people. I feel good when I do it. I just feel like I have to do something. I understand. Oh yeah. I might know? Oh. I feel like I will know once you say it. Oh yeah, I was thinking about it right before you said it too. 밥 먹었어? It's nice because it's like caring, like you're showing like, oh, did you eat today? How are you today? You know, like I think that's nice too. I definitely wouldn't say that to someone I didn't know here. 밥 먹었어? Especially not 반말. 밥 먹었어? They'd be like, what are you doing? Excuse me, who are you? And why are you talking to me? I've definitely heard of that. That's like how people show how they care. It's just different and that's okay. You know, it doesn't always have to be like talking. It's just like, oh, 밥 먹었어? Short and simple. Another shock for me was the 빨리빨리 culture. Everyone is always in a hurry. People are always so busy. They're so busy that getting on the train, people might push, try to get in first. And it's kind of like, that was so shocking to me too. When like an ajumma kind of like pushed me for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, she just pushed me. But then I told my friends and they're like, oh yeah, I've been pushed so many times. And now I'm like, who's gonna go first? I'm blocking the door, like I'm first. Also with like holding the doors, I had the door like shut right in front of me. I was like right behind the person who was walking before me. But the thing is, they didn't even open the door. They like slid through. Like it was like the person in front just like let it shut and the person in front of me like slid and it like shut on me. I was like, but I feel like it's even awkward for me to hold doors for Koreans because someone will come behind me and I'll like hold the door and they like start running and they're like, oh my gosh, like I feel bad because I think they're a little stressed like when I hold it. I feel good. Makes me feel good. You know, every country has their different cultures and etiquette. I think it's really good that you just don't be offended by it, just learn from it and appreciate it. That's just culture here and that's just how it is. So you have to kind of learn, just be appreciative and adapt to the culture. So today we talked about cultural differences between the US and Korea. And if you liked watching this video, please click like and subscribe. And I'll see you later. Bye.